Hi everyone. It's nice to be back on the live. Hope everyone's well today. So we're going to do some writing together as always. If you're doing something else, you don't have to be writing. I think it's nice to have a bit of company if you're doing some admin or whatever it might be this morning. I am going to continue work on my novel. Last week, I ended up teaching for 3 days, which I actually find that the 3-day, sorry, just checking something. If I'm in schools teaching for 3 days, the balance all goes a little bit off, that I sort of can't keep up, and I definitely don't get any time for anything creative. It's more like admin, organizing stuff and what have you. Sorry. The way I felt about all of that was that the week before I was really busy. If you saw my video that went up on Saturday, you'll know a bit more about that. But we just had book day week. And coming off of that, I had a load of sort of organising, tidying, this, that, and the other. But was in the mood for starting to really get into this project. But that's not the way it worked out. And honestly, I'm really grateful that I have an option for a second job. I don't really know how to describe it. In terms of it's not a side hustle. Neither of the things I do are a side hustle. They're both equally important. I'm grateful that I can do that, and I can do that flexibly. I'll turn my phone on to mute. It's just, I find that any time when I've ever done 3-day weeks, I find it really, really hard to just keep on top of everything. So this week I am only going to do 2 days of teaching or less if nothing comes up, because I do cover and supply. Sometimes there's not a school that needs me. So, I mean, that's the thing. That's why I end up doing occasionally periods of 3 days, because then that makes up for the times when I can't, and also for the school holidays. Anyway, so that was last week, so I didn't get any creative time. So I'm really looking forward to this morning, just sitting and get into it. Apologies if you can hear the washing machine. So yeah, that would be good. And do you know, it's a habit of mine in the morning that I put the washing on. This is actually the second load that I've done today. Get all the washing done, and I do all the housework before I take the kids to school, which then leaves my day clear, that I'm not distracted by jobs that need to be done. The washing machine is just finishing off a second load. Do you know, I don't know if anybody would be interested in an updated morning routine. So I did one where I talked about how I sort of set up for a creative day and the things that I do. Saying that, I haven't grabbed my journal. I'm going to do that in a moment and do some journaling before I get into the writing, because that's one of the things I do, and I haven't done that today. So I do free flow journaling. I wondered if anyone would be interested in terms of sort of a busy household. I've got 3 kids, 2 dogs. That'll be the thing. When I get up, the dogs will get up. Because they're both sort of lying down and chilled, but if I move, they'll move. Anyway, I wondered if anybody might be interested in seeing how we run our mornings to then mean that when I'm working from home during the day, I'm not distracted by anything, and equally when I'm going into a school, I'm not coming home to all these jobs that need to be done, and how we sort of organize our time in the mornings. If you would be interested, let me know, and I'll do that at some point. Anyway, let's get into some writing. As I say, I'm going to go and grab my journal, because I'll start with writing 2 pages of free flow, and then I'm going to go into the journaling. So I'll stick up my banner, and then I'll mute, and I'll just nip off and go and get that. So we're going to do 15 minutes as usual, and I'll see you back here for a little chat. So I'm muting. Enjoy the writing. I always forget to unmute. That is the 15 minutes over. So let's take a little break and have a little chat. How are you? How did that go? I did my journaling. I really recommend this for getting yourself into that creative headspace. It's really been something that has a big effect for me. Sorry, I just can't decide where to put my camera. Keep moving my laptop. So for me, as I say, I just sit and write 2 pages, just free flow, and then you're in that space of putting words on a page. I think that other people who have other creative pursuits, artists and all of the different things, all of the different creative careers and hobbies, I think that it's also really helpful just to get that sort of creative flow. Personally, I'm so like, what's the word? Fidgety today. Also, fun fact, in the realms of me just chatting about whatever comes into my mind, and please do feel free to leave me a comment to direct what we talk about. I write in pencil. There's a reason for this. So I have a lot of pencils. This may seem like a strange statement, but not only do I have my own collection of pencils, I know this is cool pencil chat, but also the kids have so many pencils. They get them as prizes. They get them in party bags. They buy pretty ones. They, they just have a lot of pencils. There must be hundreds of just your bog standard pencil in our house. And so I thought, you know what? Let's actually use them. Because I swear to God, if I only write in pencil, I will still never use all of the pencils in my house. So I keep them sharp, and I pretty much exclusively write in pencil now. One day I may actually complete a pencil. Do you sometimes hear yourself talking? Just think, what? But how often do you ever actually complete a pencil? You sharpen it down. I remember at school that being a real thing. Do you remember those pencils that were two-tone? They were like green and orange. And so like the wooden bit was a colour, and then the wrap was a colour. I can't remember what brand they were, but they were like the pencil of the time. And I remember having one of those and having that right sharpened down, all the ones with rubbers on, and you would just use it and use it and use it. Yeah, it's been a long time since I have actually done that and used up a pencil. So that is my goal. Maybe I should put that in my yearly goals. Would that be a bit of a mad thing? But I would like to use up this endless collection of pencils. So I do only write in pencil unless like I have to write something official or fill in a form, and then I can never find a pen. So now that you know that, and I'm sure your lives have all been changed, let me know what you write in. Do you write in pencil or do you write in pen? And why? And what is your favourite pencil or pen? I think it's probably best that we crack on with some more writing or whatever it is that you're working on this morning, whatever you're joining me with. As ever, let me know in the comments what you're working on. I would love to know. And if you want to sort of chit chat, do let me know. And that will stop me blethering on about pencils. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to chapter 3 of my novel. I'm working through it and just, improving the whole thing. This is my probably 3rd round of edits on this book, and I'm really thinking about plot and character development. So let's get into it. Let's see if I can remember to unmute as well at the end of it. Probably not. So we're going to do a writing sprint for 15 minutes, and then we'll be back at the end of that for another 5-minute chat. I'm going to put myself on mute. Enjoy. And that's the end of 15 minutes. I can't believe it. That literally just that time disappeared. Shows I'm getting into the story, I guess. One of the things that I'm wrestling with in this novel, one of the many, many things, is that there's a strong sort of musical element. And I have an idea of also sort of creating a playlist, maybe on Spotify or something, that the book could have like a QR code to, so that people could listen to the soundtrack while they're reading the book, and it would create a backdrop and sort of thinking about. I really kind of want the songs just to be mentioned, and that it's not necessarily that a particular song goes with a particular chapter. I read Anstey Harris's book did that. I can't remember what it was called. Her first book. I can't remember, but she had like every chapter there was a QR code or a link. I can't remember. I think it was a QR code, and you could play a particular piece of music that that chapter sort of linked with in some way. I'm not thinking that so much as a playlist that has all of the songs that are mentioned in the book, but that also just creates like a soundscape that you could put on while you're having like some chilled out time reading. So I want to have a mixture of sort of classical pieces and folk music and just sort of a very chilled vibe, because also it might be an enjoyable playlist to just stick on, if you know what I mean. But obviously that involves mentioning songs in a non-clunky way, and also trying to think about what the musical taste of the characters is and what would be fitting, and then what would work as a playlist and all of that kind of thing. So I don't know if it would really work, but I think it would definitely be fun if I can. And then because I believe that copyright wise you're allowed to mention a song, but you're allowed to mention the title, you're allowed to reference it. And I wouldn't be referencing any of these songs in a negative way. I wouldn't be liable for defamation or something for saying something horrible. It would just be like, oh, and this song was playing, or I really enjoyed this song, or I believe that the copyright rules are that you can't reproduce lyrics, or there might be a limit on the amount of lyrics that you can mention without permission. I think that's the way that it works. I will obviously double check before I publish the book. But so that's what I'm thinking, is just the songs will be referenced, and then there will be a part of the book where there's a link or a QR code or both, so that people reading the book can listen to the music, and also if there's a particular song mentioned that they don't know, that they can listen to that. So that's the thing I'm doing. And there's a particular song I was just looking at and going, in the context, does it work? And probably just making life difficult for myself. Anyway, it's going well. I'm enjoying it. We've got another 15-minute sprint coming up. I don't actually think I'm going to get to the end of the chapter, but I'll have a go. Also, I got a book order while I'm sat here. Got a little alert, book order to fulfill. So that's really nice. Always makes me smile. So yeah, thank you to that person for ordering 2 books, actually, which is rather lovely. I will package that up and get that to the post office today. So yeah, and if people order books, I do post same day, or like if I possibly can, I do. Sometimes that's not logistically possible, and if it's not, it will be the next morning. But pretty much most of the time it does go out same day. If I can make it to the post office and all of that stuff. Anyway, let's get into our last writing sprint. So our last 15 minutes, I'm going to mute myself as usual and stick some music on. And as I say, let me know what you are working on today. Right, let's go. Last 15 minutes. Alexa, off. Alexa, off. Oh, you will have got a little bit of music there as well. It's clearly going amazingly well today. I I was so gathered, what's the word, in the story that I wasn't keeping an eye on my battery. My battery then ran out. I managed to re-enter this live stream and I was like, cool. I didn't know that I could come back to it. I was a bit worried that I would just have to cancel the whole thing. And then what is my dog doing? And then carried on writing, but didn't realise that I wasn't muted. So apologies if you were faced with a blank screen and then me appearing with whatever I was listening to. These live streams are always I mean, we talked about this last week. One day, this will be a slick professional setup and you will all be shocked. You may have also heard my dog eating something. I don't know what she was eating. She found something. That's a whole other thing. The new dog, bless her heart, she is so sweet, but she's still very young and silly and mischievous. And I don't know what she's doing right now. I can't see her. Anyway, I shall deal with that in a moment. So yeah, apologies that all went awry. But there we are. So the rest of the day, what am I doing? Well, today is taking a slightly different shape. So this normally, as I've said on here before, normally on a Monday afternoon, I do some volunteer work. So after I come off the live stream, I just basically do some admin and then I pop out. But today I've got some volunteer related stuff that I'm so behind on. So I've taken the decision to stay in and do the bits I need to do in rather than going out to the breastfeeding group that I support at, because they're not very busy today. So I can catch up on everything, which would be really, really helpful. So I'm still doing volunteer work, but from home. Because I feel at the moment a little bit swamped with stuff that isn't work stuff. So I'm training for a charity walk. You might have seen me talking about that on Instagram. I am also training to take my second dan in karate. There's also other bits, like my 40th birthday is coming up. There's just sort of bits and pieces. And in amongst that is some of the volunteer stuff that I've ended up a bit behind on. So just trying to get on top of things. So yeah, that is the plan for today. So I am actually staying in. So live stream, I will be here next week. And I am going to unmute my mic when we get to the breaks, and I'm going to mute my mic when we're not on the breaks, and I'm going to charge up my laptop. Those are going to be the things that are going to happen. And if they don't, you can shout at me tell me that I am ridiculous. So that's what's going to happen. So next week I will be here. I'm also aiming to be here the week after, although that is the school holidays, but I'm going to bribe my children so that I can still live stream. So that's the thing. And then, but the week after that, so what's that? I think the 8th of April, I won't be here because I'm away. So yeah, but I will put on the, what's it called? The posts, there's a word for it, community tab bit. I'll put on there when I am here and I'm not here. And if half term, so not next week, week after, ends up being a little bit complicated, then I will update there as well. So I'll always let you know if I can't be here or if I record a live stream and it all goes horribly wrong and I delete it. That has only happened once. And I thought today I might have to when my battery ran out, but here I am, I'm back. So yeah, not so disastrous after all. Okay, let's all get on with our day. I hope that was helpful. It's really nice when I get messages saying, actually, yeah, I got some work done and thanks for the company and stuff. So as long as people are finding this helpful, then I will carry on doing it, despite it being, a little disorganized at times. But there we are. That's me. That's the way it goes. So yeah, thanks for joining me. As I say, I hope that was helpful. I'll be back next week at the same time, 9:30 GMT/BST. It'll be GMT still, won't it? Changing clocks at the end of the month. So yeah, I will see you then for another live stream. And as I said, I will do all of the things. Have a lovely week. I hope you get lots of writing done, or whatever it is that you're working on. You have a productive, happy week. We've got a bit more sunshine, so that's always good. And yeah, I will see you all soon so I've got a little vlog going up on Saturday and then the live stream on Monday. So I'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful week. Take care.